Can you imagine the world's largest snake, 15 meters long, 1.3 tons, as long as a bus, slithering through our tropical forests today? Titanoboa, history's most massive serpent. If it were alive in our modern times, how would forest ecosystems and human life be shaped? "60 million years ago, in the Paleocene period, right after the extinction of dinosaurs, this giant snake ruled the tropical forests of South America. With climate cooling and changing food sources, the world's largest snake vanished into the depths of history. But today, guided by paleontology and our imagination, we're bringing Titanoboa back to our modern tropical world and discovering how it would live. If today's Titanoboas were alive, they would probably inhabit tropical rainforests worldwide. The Amazon Basin, Congo Basin, Southeast Asia's tropical forests, and Central America's humid regions would be ideal habitats for these giant snakes. Modern Titanoboas could greatly benefit from expanding tropical regions due to global warming, unlike their ancestors. These massive serpents would probably live in humid habitats like swamp forests near water, riverbanks, and lake surroundings. Titanoboa's semi-aquatic lifestyle would make them ideal predators along the modern Amazon River, in Congo River deltas, and Southeast Asia's mangrove forests. Increasing temperature and humidity rates with global warming would dramatically expand Titanoboa's habitats. Currently relatively dry regions, southern Texas, northern Mexico, southern Florida, could transform into suitable habitats for Titanoboas in the future. This could lead to snake populations spreading to unexpected regions. In modern tropical ecosystems, Titanoboa would definitely be at the very top of the food chain. With its 1.3-ton body weight and 15-meter length, it would overshadow even today's largest predators. Jaguars, tigers, even crocodiles would become prey against this giant snake. According to paleontologists' calculations, a Titanoboa would need to consume approximately 400 to 500 kilograms of meat monthly. This creates a major change in modern forest ecosystems. Large mammals, tapirs, capybaras, ocelots, and even young jaguars would become Titanoboa's primary food sources. The biggest change would occur in large reptile populations. American alligators, Nile crocodiles, and caiman species would be among the species whose numbers would dramatically decrease with Titanoboa's presence. This massive snake has the capacity to easily hunt 4 to 5-meter crocodiles. The situation of primates would be particularly critical. Orangutans, chimpanzees, and large ape species would be among Titanoboa's favorite targets, leading to serious decreases in primate populations. For human communities living in tropical regions, Titanoboas would pose a vital threat. These giant snakes could easily penetrate villages, towns, and even city outskirts, deeply affecting human life. Amazon natives, Africa's forest villages, and Southeast Asia's rural communities would find Titanoboa encounters a matter of life and death. These massive snakes could see children, elderly, and even adult humans as prey. The greatest risk would be for communities living near rivers. Titanoboas can move extremely fast in water, surprising and attacking people fishing, washing clothes, or coming to get water. A 15-meter snake's constricting power could easily break human bones. However, Titanoboas probably wouldn't constantly see humans as prey. These giants would prefer large mammals for energy conservation, but could attack humans when opportunity arises. Modern agriculture and livestock would have to fundamentally change with Titanoboa's presence. Farms in tropical regions would establish massive protection systems to keep these giant snakes away. Large farm animals like cattle, horses, pigs, and goats would be Titanoboa's natural targets. Farmers would have to build very strong fences 3 to 4 meters high to protect their animals. However, Titanoboa's climbing abilities would make traditional fences ineffective. The anti-Titanoboa agriculture concept would develop. Underground shelters, electric fences, ultrasonic snake repelling systems, and even specially trained guard dogs would become standard farm equipment. The most interesting development would be Titanoboa farms. Raising these massive snakes in controlled environments would provide both scientific research and economic benefits. Titanoboa skin, oil, and meat could create million-dollar new industries. Transportation networks in tropical regions would have to be completely redesigned with Titanoboa's presence. Forest roads, river crossings, and bridges would be built considering these giant snakes' existence. River transportation would become particularly risky. Titanoboa attack risk on major waterways like the Amazon River, Congo River, and Mekong River would change ship designs. Closed-deck, armored river ships would become standard. Special security protocols would be developed for forest hiking trails and ecotourism routes. Titanoboa detection systems, infrared cameras, vibration sensors, and sound warning devices would become basic security equipment for forest passages. The biggest challenge would be for oil pipelines, mining sites, and hydroelectric plants inside forests. Workers at these facilities would have to develop special protective equipment and emergency evacuation protocols as they would constantly work under Titanoboa attack risk. Titanoboa's presence would create a trillion-dollar new sector in the ecotourism industry. Titanoboa safaris would become the world's most dangerous but most prestigious adventure tourism activity. Special Titanoboa observation tours would be organized in the Amazon Basin, Borneo, and Congo Basin. These tours would require ultra-safe, armored boats, helicopter support, and experienced snake expert guides. Extreme Titanoboa tracking experiences would be offered for the bravest adventure enthusiasts. With special protective equipment, emergency medical teams, and fast escape vehicles, tourists would have the chance to observe these giant snakes in their natural habitats. For the film and documentary industry, living Titanoboas would offer unique content opportunities. Forest cameramen would become the most dangerous but most prestigious profession, with Titanoboa shoots among the film industry's most expensive and risky productions. Virtual reality Titanoboa experiences would also develop. In safe environments, people could experience the excitement of encountering these giant snakes, experiencing adrenaline rush without taking real risks. For modern herpetology, snake science, living Titanoboas would offer revolutionary opportunities in snake physiology and behavioral science. These giants' thermoregulation systems would help us understand how such a large, cold-blooded creature maintains body temperature. Titanoboa's constricting power and hunting strategies would develop new approaches in biomechanical engineering. These giants' wrapping technique could be used in designing industrial compression machines and robotic systems. These snakes' chemical communication systems and environmental perception abilities could break new ground in sensor technology development. Titanoboa's vibration detection capacity could be used in earthquake early warning systems and geological research. Most importantly, Titanoboa's survival strategies in modern tropical climate would help us understand climate change effects on large reptiles. These giants' adaptation mechanisms could provide clues about other large species' futures. Titanoboa's presence in the modern world would create completely new sectors in the global economy. Titanoboa security industry would become a market worth hundreds of billions of dollars. Tropical region insurance companies would develop new policy types. Titanoboa attack insurance would become a basic necessity, with forest regions classified according to risk levels. The most profitable industry would be Titanoboa products. Titanoboa skin would become the world's most expensive leather type, with bags, shoes, and luxury accessories selling for millions of dollars. Titanoboa oil and meat would also become new stars of the premium food market. For the medical industry, Titanoboa venom glands, if any, and blood samples would offer valuable research materials. Information obtained from snake physiology could help develop new treatment methods in human health. Global warming would create major advantages for Titanoboas. Increasing temperature and humidity rates would significantly expand these giant snakes' habitats. Tropical regions expanding toward poles would enable Titanoboas to spread to unexpected geographies. Southern states of North America, Mediterranean coasts of southern Europe, and even northern regions of Australia could become Titanoboa habitats in the future. Sea level rise and increased precipitation would expand mangrove forests and swamp areas, creating ideal habitats for Titanoboas. Extreme weather events caused by climate change, hurricanes, floods, droughts, could lead to unexpected migrations of Titanoboa populations. This could cause sudden Titanoboa sightings in previously safe regions. Military use of Titanoboas could create revolutionary changes in forest warfare strategies. Titanoboas trained under controlled conditions could be used as psychological warfare tools in enemy bases. Guardian Titanoboa programs would be developed for forest-based security. These massive snakes could be trained as natural guards protecting important military facilities. Titanoboa scenarios would become mandatory in jungle warfare training. Military personnel would have to learn how to behave when encountering these giant snakes. However, military use of Titanoboas would lead to major ethical debates. International warfare law would include new articles prohibiting the use of these giants as biological weapons. Titanoboa's anatomical features would create fascinating sources of inspiration for modern technology development. These giants' muscle system and movement mechanics would lead to revolutionary developments in robotics. Titanoboa robot technology would develop. Snake-like robots would be produced for search and rescue operations, tunnel digging work, and working in narrow spaces. These robots would mimic the real Titanoboa's flexibility and power combination. Titanoboa's compression power would be used in designing industrial presses and compression machines. In the construction industry, Titanoboa principle would be applied in concrete compression and material processing technologies. These giants' thermal detection abilities would guide infrared technology development. Night vision devices, thermal cameras, and even medical imaging systems would model Titanoboa's heat detection system. Titanoboa's presence in the modern world would create profound effects on the psychology and social behaviors of people living in tropical regions. Living with these massive snakes would fundamentally change humans' risk perception and daily habits. Titanoboa cults could develop among forest communities. Some indigenous societies would see these giant snakes as sacred beings, considering them manifestations of ancestral spirits. Children's upbringing would change dramatically in tropical regions. Titanoboa safety education would become a mandatory part of school curricula, with children learning from an early age how to behave when encountering these giants. Urban planning would be done considering Titanoboa presence. Snake-proof buildings, emergency escape routes, and rapid response systems would become standard in tropical cities. The modern legal system would develop new branches of law regulating Titanoboa's right to life and relationships with humans. Megafauna law would become a field of specialization. Titanoboa killing crimes would form a special category. The balance between protecting this species and human security would create complex legal problems. Special investigation units would be established for deaths resulting from Titanoboa attacks. Deciding whether it was a Titanoboa accident or death by negligence would be the job of expert forensic medicine teams. The most controversial issue would be whether Titanoboas should be recognized as conscious beings. There would be constant conflicts between snake rights activists and security prioritists. Titanoboa's physiological features could lead to revolutionary developments in modern medical science. These giants' muscle system and nerve structure could offer new approaches in muscle disease and paralysis treatments. Titanoboa's slow metabolism and energy efficiency could help develop new treatment protocols for obesity and metabolic diseases. These snakes' post-injury healing capacity could lead to important discoveries in regenerative medicine. Titanoboa physiology could be modeled in tissue repair and wound healing. Most importantly, Titanoboa's long lifespan and aging processes could provide valuable data in human aging and life extension research. If Titanoboa could live in our modern world, our tropical forests would be completely different places from what we know today. The presence of these 15-meter giants would not only change forest ecosystems, but would fundamentally transform all of human civilization's relationship with tropical regions. From technology to tourism, from science to security, from economy to social life. Every field would be reshaped around these giant snakes' adaptation to the modern world. As humanity, we would learn to see tropical forests not as places we conquered, but as wild areas we share with Titanoboas. Titanoboa's presence would also constantly remind us how mysterious and powerful the natural world is. Knowing these massive snakes slither in our forests would help us redefine humanity's place in nature, enabling us to develop a much more careful and respectful approach. Perhaps most importantly, Titanoboa's presence in the modern world would teach us this. Nature has much greater powers than our control. These giant snakes, sharing the same planet with us, would create deep feelings of awe in the face of life's infinite diversity and wild beauty. What do you think our tropical forests would be like if Titanoboa lived today? Share your thoughts about the changes this magnificent giant snake would create in our modern lives in the comments. Did you like the video? Don't forget to like it and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss more fascinating content about extinct creatures.